What's happening, fellow Star Wars fans? Hope you guys are all having a good day out there. And my name's Ryan. You've made your way to the Star Wars headquarters, and we're talking about a very interesting interview between producer Paul Keslin, who works on Star Wars Battlefront, and Eurogamer. And the subject of this interview was none other than Star Wars Battlefront 2. And the interview really gives us some insight into the production of the game and hopefully what to expect next year. So let's take a look. So we know that DICE is hard at work on Star Wars Battlefront 2 and they're aiming for a 2017 holiday release. We also know that some of the content in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to be based on the new Episode 8 movie coming out in 2017 as well. But Paul Keslin did say this to Eurogamer when concerning the mindset of DICE and the team regarding the different eras of Star Wars. He said, "There are always opportunities to look backwards. There are TV shows, comic books, and a lot of us at the studio watch Star Wars Rebels. A lot of us read the comics. Who knows where we'll go? Well, some people know, obviously." So of course, he didn't confirm exactly the future of Star Wars Battlefront games, but he did give us a look at the mindset of DICE, Lucasfilm, and Disney when concerning the different eras and how they think about them. So it's very exciting to know that they respect the past and future eras of Star Wars equally, and hopefully that means, guys, that we see a Clone Wars Star Wars Battlefront in the future. I would love to see that. And then we cannot forget that senior producer on Battlefront had this to say way back during EA Play of this year.
With Star Wars Battlefront, we wanted to really be able to bring people into the world of Star Wars like never before. What excites me now is bringing in more characters, more planets, more environments, more eras.
So again, guys, hopefully this means we see some Clone Wars era content introduced into an upcoming Star Wars Battlefront game, whether it be Star Wars Battlefront 2 or maybe even another future title. We'll have to see. And by the way, while we're on the subject of that EA Play trailer, we cannot forget that they showed kind of glimpses of what appeared to be Episode 8 content from the next Star Wars Battlefront 2. They didn't confirm this, but it surely looks that way. And it looks very cool. I'm also very excited to see that they are also focusing on the future eras of Star Wars as well. And I'm really hoping that we get to see the heroes like Finn, Rey, and so on in Star Wars Battlefront 2 as well. And that wasn't the only good question asked by Eurogamer to Paul Keslin. They also asked him about seamless ground to air. And Paul Keslin responded by saying, "That's something I don't know currently. We're getting there with some things. It really depends on how giant the world is and what some of our goals are. Some of the limitations are that there's a lot of stuff to throw on the screen. We're trying to lock everything into 60 frames per second with all this water and vegetation. Since our game is so visually authentic, it's very taxing. I can't speak right now for what the team might be working on, what that might look like in a seamless world. I can say we haven't focused on that as of yet, but maybe." So there's a maybe in that, guys, which is also quite exciting. And as you know, they've been working on the multi-stage game modes with the Death Star DLC and the Rogue One DLC, which released just recently on December 6th. So we're getting a multi-stage game mode that feels pretty close to space to ground combat. So it's kind of looking like DICE is working their way towards that. But the question is, will we eventually see full-blown seamless ground to space combat? We'll have to see on that too. And of course, we cannot forget about single-player content, which Paul Keslin also addressed as well. He said, "We're partnering up with some folks from Motive. They have their own take on how things are, but we have a very close relationship with them. And we want everything to feel like a coherent experience. We don't want it to where single player isn't that great, but multiplayer has this great thing and isn't connected." So it sounds like they're trying to make single player very consistent with the multiplayer experience and have you enjoy both equally. And I'm really hoping that we do see co-op in the single player experience where you can jump in with your friends. But co-op has not been confirmed just yet. But if you think about Halo, the game Halo, guys, and you really think about how they do their single player, let's hope that Star Wars Battlefront 2 does something similar. And another big discussion has been around Star Wars Battlefront 2's Season Pass and how EA is going to handle that. And Paul Keslin also answered this and said, "We explore a lot of business models and there's a lot of thinking around that. For us, more as EA as a company, we throw out the term player first a lot. and what does it mean for games as living experiences over time? He then went on to say, we're giving a lot more thought in that area, and how can that evolve what we've done in the past? I can't guarantee one way or another now, but it's something we're thinking about. So it's cool to see that EA is considering different options for how to handle the season pass for Star Wars Battlefront 2, or if there's even going to be one, because as you know, Titanfall 2 does not offer a season pass. You can actually get all of the maps for free with Titanfall 2, but the question is, if you go that route, or if EA goes that route, will that result in less maps? And I don't think that would be the case, because again, they've already established, I think it's like almost 4 maps per DLC drop. So they wouldn't go back on that, I believe, even if they offered a free season pass. Instead, they would try to make up the money elsewhere in the game. So guys, how do you think that EA should handle the season pass, or DLC for that matter, in Star Wars Battlefront 2? Leave your comments below. So there's some insight into Star Wars Battlefront 2's production. Boy, would I love to be a fly on the wall over at DICE right now, over at Motive, looking at what they're working on, but we'll have to wait for the full reveal sometime next year, and we cannot wait for that moment. But at least we have the Rogue One Scarif DLC to keep us busy, which has been a blast. And don't forget guys, we're going to be doing live streams every Saturday here for Star Wars Weekly, where we give away a prize every week. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content, and may the Force be with you always.